We tried to assemble several people here tonight that would say some nice things about Jack, but we decided to have a roast instead because nobody volunteered. Quite clearly, Jack is a special man in Essex Probate and Family Court. So having a roast for him was especially valuable to all of us. Jack's very comfortable getting roasted all the time because he's roasted pretty much every day he walks into the courthouse. And when he goes up into the motion session, he's further roasted. If Judge Rocket were in first session, it gets even worse. It gets even hotter. That's what friends are for, I suppose, right? But quite frankly, I gotta tell you, when Jack is talking about a case, he's very serious. He always wants to tell the judge that this case is the most important case that this judge will hear. That usually tells you that he got a big retainer. So we were trying to figure out, we were talking about whether Jack was 74 or 75, and people couldn't believe his age. Some people think he looks good, but some people think he's older. So we did some research on this, and we looked at birth certificates and records from your employment. And finally, we got into the billable hours. We added up the billable hours, and believe it or not, Jack is 142 years old. So I was trying to think of some things that Jack is good at. Have you ever seen him eat peanuts? Especially if somebody else bought them. Another thing he excels at, and there's many people here tonight that will attest, is getting a continuance. Donna and Karen spend 10% of their time every day just typing up the motions and getting a continuance and calling the registry. But there's good reason for it. Usually it's scotch, or a trip to play golf, and then have some scotch. So Donna and Karen deserve a lot of credit. But I know that Jack is... Jack's a man who can really see the future, and especially with business ventures. I was told of a story where a former partner of his, well, that's a business partner, not that there's anything wrong with that, but, and not that Jack wouldn't be willing, but. So this young attorney who is partners with Jack comes up with the idea about having bagels. And this is 1978. So in 1978, we can all remember how far ago that was. Dunkin' Donuts was barely a name in the area. There weren't bagels except if you went to a bakery. And Peter DeGangi, of Italian descent from Brooklyn, thought that it would be a good idea to get some bagels going, cook them up, and they could make millions. So he talked to Jack, and Peter even came up with a name for the business operation. Juwapi. But the punchline is really that Peter was promoting this idea. He was full of energy as usual about it. And Jack said, "No, nobody's ever going to eat that shit." So
I made another great decision.
So one of his other business ventures was a bar. Salem Bar, we all went to it, we all had a great time in there. Jack made sure that he was there every minute of the day to make sure everything went well. It's kind of like putting the fox in charge of the hen house when you put Jack in charge of the bar.